Hey guys, my name is Christian Batuli. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Hope each one of you guys is doing amazing. If it's your first time coming across this channel, we're excited to have you here. I can already tell we're going to be great friends. Yeah, feel free to check out all the content we got on this platform. And if you do like them, please consider hitting that notification button, subscribing to the channel, and also, liking the video. So that way we can get our videos recommended to more people. And if you're a return subscriber, I don't know how much I can thank you, but I appreciate you. You're my day one, and you guys keep me going. So this is part 2 on guides to entrepreneurship. So we're gonna pretty much start or pick up where we left off. So tip number 9. And tip number 9 is living below your means. Guys, as an entrepreneur, especially if you're new to this journey, you're gonna have to understand that you're gonna have to save some money. The more asset, the more capital, the more funds or liquid cash that you have, the better. You don't necessarily have to spend it, but the reason why I say you need to have some money and live below your means is because when you're new to something, you don't have the experience yet. And when you don't have the experience yet, you're more likely to make mistakes. If you're new to this journey, new to this field, this world, you're going to make mistakes. And the chances are you're more likely to make financial mistakes. You're more likely going to lose money. And if you don't have money, that can kind of help put you back in the game. Then guess what? One false move, you're out the game. You know what I mean? So as an entrepreneur, you have to know to just live modesty. I know some of you guys want to dress, designer clothes. You want to eat out every day, every week. You want to go party. You want to show people how much money you got. You want to flex on your haters. You want to flex for the gram. But that's self-sabotaging. It's really not helping you at all. So you're going to have to be smart with your money because you just never know. Not only because you're more likely to make mistakes, but sometimes a great opportunity might present itself and you have to capitalize on that. So live below your means. Get the things that you actually need, not the things that you want. And I'm not saying all this to say that you should live life, in frugality and be cheap and stuff like that. No, but you have to be reasonable. Because a lot of people nowadays are income statement affluent, which means they make good money, but also their expenses, their bills literally are so high to the point where they break even. And sometimes they barely even break even. They go in a hole, but they make a lot of money. Like you ask them, how much do you make per year? They'll tell you 100,000 or more. They live in a nice neighborhood, big house, big cars, maybe a boat, but they literally live in paycheck to paycheck. Income statement affluent. And then you have other people that we call balance sheet affluent, which means they just live life modesty. They don't try to overspend. When they want something, they'll plan for it. They're not just going to go out there and spend money because they want to flex on other people. They have self-control. I've met some of those people. They'll drive a regular car. Sometimes their car is beat up, but it still runs great. The car is not fancy. None of that. But the car is paid out. They've had it for maybe 5 or 6 or 7 years, and the car's still running great. They take good care of it. And those are the people that you see in the street wearing a $10 shirt from Ross, regular shoes. But you look at their bank account, they're winning. You look at their credit score, they're winning. You look at their debt, there's no debt. They're winning. Because they understand the game. And I'm always going to be a big advocate of living life and not taking anything for granted, because none of this is guaranteed. I get that. But just because we want to live life to the fullest and nothing is guaranteed, that does not mean that we get to be careless, and sloppy out here. Save your money. You don't need to spend it over some dumb stuff. If you need it, spend it. You need water, yes. You need a place to live, yes. And if you're gonna spend a lot of money, just plan for it, man. Because as an entrepreneur, yeah, you're gonna have to be a little frugal, man. Cut down, downsize your lifestyle a little bit. You're gonna have to learn to have fun without money. And those are the best kind of fun. Growing up, I always thought like you need money to have fun, but you really don't. You gotta understand there are a lot of things out there that you can do for free and you're gonna have a blast. Like for me, watching my son even, playing soccer and scoring goals and seeing him and his friends running and, having fun, or even just spending time with my son playing with him. He's starting to get into running. So once in a while he wants to run and stuff like that. Like just seeing him doing all those stuff, that makes me happy, man. Laughing. Those are the best medicine. You don't necessarily need money. So you're gonna have to learn to live life like that. And it's not a bad thing, because when you finally get to a place where you are financially comfortable, where you're making a lot more money than you can ever imagine, then you can spoil yourself a little bit. And even now, you can still do that, but you just can't go crazy, man. You know what I mean? All right, guys, so we're going to move on to tip number 10. And tip number 10 is that once you start to make money, or at least you start to get some traction as an entrepreneur, your business is booming, you start to make some good connections, your product is going great, you're going to have to understand that a lot of wealthy people, they invest their money back into their business. I think there's a big misconception, from people that are now wealthy, including myself, of thinking that the way to become wealthy or the way to stay wealthy is through stock. No, it's really not, because if you look at the majority of wealthy people, yes, they do have money through, in stock, but it's a very, very, very small percentage of their wealth. Most of the money they make, they invest it back into their business, because they know that way, they're going to be able to make real money. The stock goes up and down. So when you start making money, just invest it back into your business. Improve certain things, improve quality of the product, improve package appearance. Do whatever you need to do, but always invest it back into your business, and also save some for later in case of, I don't know, accidents or financial loss. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to invest it back into the business. And don't get me wrong, like a lot of wealthy people too, like they will make an investment, they will take a risk if the return, outweighs the risk. If there's a great opportunity for them to make money, they're going to do that. But just don't go out there and think all your money is going to be through stock. Nah, it's maybe, I don't know, maybe 10% or 15%. A lot of wealthy people, not all their wealth is through stock. It's just a very small percentage of that. And in addition to that, especially if you're running a business and you're an entrepreneur, you're new to the journey, what I'll recommend is, this is where the power of network comes in, because you're going to have to surround yourself with smart people. And I think that's something that a lot of rich people do very well. They just hire experts on things that they don't understand. If they don't understand, certain tax law, they will hire a person who is an expert in that field, a lawyer who knows how to do that. If they're not good at accounting, they'll hire somebody who knows how to do that. And you don't necessarily have to hire somebody if you're not at that level yet where you have steady income, coming in. But what you can do is you can network, connect yourself with people that, and I'm not trying to say this, I'm not trying to come across in a bad way. Like, you're not using them, but it's like the asset. All of us, in a way, we are an asset to somebody. So we need each other. We use each other. It's not necessarily a bad thing. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to branch out, make good friends, friends that are important, friends that are, that carry significant, I don't know, advantage to you later down the road. You can still have your buddies that you grew up with. So what I'm saying is make friends that can teach you something. People that can give you some insight, some information that you didn't know before. So the power of network, you gotta definitely do that. But once again, going back to tip number 10, invest back into your business. Don't go crazy trying to invest everywhere. Take it one step at a time. Once you start getting more money, then you can start looking through investing into stock and stuff like that. But in the meantime, as you are building your resume, take your time. Whatever you make, however little it is, put it back into the business. And as the business grows and get better, then you can make different choices. All right, so let's move on to tip number 11. And tip number 11 is selecting the right job, selecting the right field, selecting the right sector, selecting the right vocation. Meaning, do something that you actually have the chance of succeeding at. Something that, you know, you're good at or have the desire to get good at, something that you're passionate about, something that makes you happy, something that you would do for free. Because sometimes where you fight, it's more important than how you fight. It's like me trying to fight a shark, in the water, in the sea. I have no chance because that is not the right vocation. That is not the right job. That's not the right environment for me. So find something that you're really good at. Find something that you're passionate about and you're willing to learn. You're willing to dedicate yourself to. You're willing to be committed, and you see yourself doing it for the rest of your life. Find that thing. So select the right vocation, the right job. Don't try to just make quick money. Nah, it takes time. True wealth takes time. So find something that you know brings you happiness. Because if you are in the wrong vocation, you're not going to succeed. You're not going to be happy. You're going to be miserable. And also success, like if you're able to do what you love and you're able to pay your bills, you're winning. Oh, I have a friend. She's an amazing artist. She's on Instagram. Her name is Adi. Go check out her painting, man. She's amazing. She does that and she pays all of her bills. She don't work regular jobs like, me and some of our friends. No, she makes more than enough to paint. She sells. She has a big following and she's winning. You know what I mean? So it takes time, but you gotta select the right vocation. You gotta be at the right place at the right time. Okay, and you can only do that by finding something that you love. And the one thing, like, I've come to realize as I've gotten older is that it's not about how hard you work. It's about how you work hard. It's not really about how smart you are. It's about how you are smart. It's not about how genius you are. It's about how you are genius. You know what I mean? So, which means there's going to be certain situations, certain circumstances that's going to require you to use a different part of the brain, to be smart differently, to work hard differently. So that's just a word of wisdom I want you to always keep in mind, man. It's not about how hard you work. It's about how you work hard. It's not about how smart you are. It's about how you are smart. Remember that. All right, guys, moving on to the last tip, which is tip number 12. And tip number 12 is basically finding the right balance. Now, when you first begin as an entrepreneur, you're going to have this burning desire to want to be out there, to want to grind and hustle, to put yourself out there, to find every way to make money, to network, all that. And all those things are great, but I just don't want you to forget what's really important in life. You're going to have to find the balance. Because for me, I'm just a realist. You can work hard and get all this stuff, accomplish everything, have lots of money, and then your health go to shit, or not even make it, not even live long enough to enjoy the fruit of your labor. So learn to enjoy life a little bit. Just find that balance. Spend time with your kids, man. You know what I mean? Take your girl on a date. Spend time with your family. Hang out with your friend once in a while. Yeah, stay focused. Dedicate your time to your work as well, to grinding, to the process. But you gotta find that right balance, because for me, I just feel like it's not really worth it if I have all this money in the world, but I don't have my family. I don't have a good relationship with my kids because I wasn't there to maybe spend time with them or hang out with them. Like, I know you're gonna have to make sacrifice in anything in life if you want to succeed. I get that. But I also think that if you find the right balance, anything is possible. You can still be there for your kids and also win in life as an entrepreneur, as a self-made business person. You can do it. So find the right balance, because you can't take it with you, man. If you've been following my channel for a while now, you know that I like soccer. And if you are a soccer supporter, you like soccer, or you know anything about the game, then you know this weekend we just experienced a crazy loss in the soccer community. There was a player, he's a Portuguese player, may he rest in peace, Goto, I'm not sure how to say it, but he was a great player. He played for Liverpool FC, an amazing striker. Yeah, I'm just really shocked right now because he was 28, entering his prime. He had an amazing summer. Portugal won the UEFA Nations League Cup, which is a very prestigious award on the national level as far as team goes. He had just married his long-term partner, you know, the mother of his 3 kids. You know, he's playing for Liverpool, and they had just won the English Premier League Cup. So the guy was winning in life. He had it all. And then plus on top of that, his brother was playing on the 2nd division in Portugal. You know, I think his name was Andre Silva, if I'm not mistaken. And they lost their lives. Car crash in a Lamborghini. You know, allegedly they had a blow tire. So that should remind you, none of this is guaranteed. Yes, we want to succeed. Yes, we want to thrive. Yes, we want to have money. We want to drive the kind of cars we want to drive. We want to live in great places with great environment, air quality. You know, we want to smash the hottest chick. We want to have, you know, a loving partner, someone that's going to hold us down. All that, yeah, we want all that. But just remember, all that can be taken away in the blink of an eye. So find the right balance. Live your life, because life is not guaranteed. You know, there's 2 amazing soccer stars lost their lives. One was 25, one was 28, very young. They were winning in life, bro. They were millionaires. They were. Everything was good, and it's gone. Now, kids gonna have to be raised without their father. A wife who just got married, gonna become a widow. A parent, at one time, lost both of their sons. Like, it's tragedy. So enjoy life, man. Grind. I get that. But make time for life's greatest things, man. Or the things that you can't really take back anymore. You can't rewind time for. Once it happens, it happens. There's no going back. So next time you're thinking about missing your daughter's birthday, 3rd year in a row. Next time you keep breaking your son's promises to go see his show or his game because you want to close this deal, because you want to make this money think about it twice, man, because your kids will get older. And I've come across a lot of rich kids, and what I will tell you is money was their comfort, was their only friend, because daddy or mommy didn't care enough to spend time, because daddy was too busy getting money, mommy was too busy doing whatever she was doing. So find that balance. All right, guys, that's it for me today. I appreciate you guys' support so much. I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe. Ciao.